Hi, Liz Montagna here, back for mindfulness lesson number 2. So we are going to be working on correcting those little adjustments in your posture to see if it changes the discomfort that you are experiencing anywhere. So again, in your standing posture, again, in the corner if you need more stability, just in case. Close the eyes and then go back to what you were feeling. First, start with the discomfort. It's in the neck, back, shoulder, wherever it is that you feel it. Think about the intensity of it, quality, and see how that changes, if it changes, with small adjustments to your posture. So, starting with the feet, your eyes are closed. You're going to shift your weight forward and backward. And you might notice that as you shift forward, that there's more tension. The back body has to work harder to hold you up. When you shift your weight back onto the heels, toes grip, your front body is tense to try to hold you up. So we want to find that balance point, front to back of the foot, where it lines up right here with the heel. The ankle bone is lined up right with the head of the heel. So that's where you want to feel like your overall weight. We call your center of mass is right about here, where the sum of your torso weight is about here. So if you're shifting your weight forward and backward, instead of, sticking your butt out or this, it's the whole thing kind of stays in one piece so that you can feel like the overall weight lands right in front of that heel. The next step, so we're always going to go back to that. That's always going to be your home base, is the head of the heel, the center of mass, your overall sense of your body weight is right there. Now we can refine the ankles. You can collapse the ankles, you can lift the ankles, depending on what you do. Decide, okay, well, maybe my ankle collapses or maybe just one collapses. Can I bring the weight more even so that I can feel all the points of my foot, but is not collapsed? So maybe you have to make a little adjustment. So if the ankle collapsed, maybe you feel that your thighs kind of broaden open or roll out a little bit to lift the ankle. Or if you're on the outer edges of your heel, maybe you need to draw the thighs inward a little bit. So play with it and see, does that change anything with my back or whatever is bothering you? The next step will be to think about the knees. We all kind of have a habit of, hanging on a hip, one knee is back, the other knee is bent. So try to find that balance. Bring the hips to the middle and feel your knees. You kind of have to bend them, straighten them, and then try to find what's straight. Some of us are hypermobile and our knees go way far too back. So instead of just hanging on the ligaments, maybe soften the knees a little bit if you know that's your propensity. So find a straight knee, go back to the ankles, go back to the weight, the head of the heel. Then moving up to the pelvis. Now here, the most common variation or changes in people's posture is in the low back. So some are arched, so the pelvis tips forward, the guts spill out, your booty's out, there's a lot of compression here. Then you have the other type of person who is tucked under, tight hamstrings, and their back is flat, and they're here. So soften your knees and free up your pelvis so that you can tilt forward and backward, and try to think about your pelvis like a pot of hot water, okay? Don't spill the water out the front or the back, have it straight up and down. And then the trick is as you straighten your knees, you keep the pot straight up and down. So for example, for me, my back is arched a bit. So when I get my pelvis tilted, I have to tip it back to get it right in the middle. I have to draw up on my front abdomen and release my low back and buttocks as I slowly straighten the knees to maintain that level posture. Otherwise it just dumps right up once I straighten my knees. For a person who's tucked under, you might need to think about perking your tail feathers a little bit to allow a little bit of an arch. So wherever you are. Then from there, go back to the overall weight in the foot, head of the heel, ankles, knees, pelvis, then shoulders. So maybe you need to move around a little bit to kind of get a sense of where they are in space. But then think, it's like, oh, I do kind of feel maybe tension in this side of my neck, and maybe because that shoulder's up. So maybe I go up, release them down, but even touch your shoulders. You want to feel that they're pointing out to the side. Oftentimes, if we have had a rounded, kind of a slumped posture, the arms roll in, the shoulders roll in, and the back rounds. So you want to smile open the collarbones, feel this thought in the upper arms are just gently out, so that your arms are by your side and not having your palms face behind you. Okay. And then from here, just straight up through the neck and like a sky hook lifting you up tall, lifting to the crown of the head. And then, again, notice, maybe I do have my head tilted and turned, so try to see if you can find that neutral. Go back to the head of the heel, the ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders, and your sky hook. And then notice, does that change whatever symptoms or discomfort that you were having? Did making those little modifications change it? And if so, that's your mindfulness exercise. Whenever you have pain, make your little adjustments to make your posture as best you can. No one's going to be perfect, but bring it to the middle as best you can so that you can decrease the strain on your body because you're in line with the gravity. I hope that helps.